Awesome. Okay, great stuff. We're going to go on to talk about the Master System next. I hope that's okay. I'm sure you can handle that. For you guys that don't know, for our younger audience that don't know what the Master System is, you shouldn't be listening to this because this is an 18-rated show. But anyway, if you are listening to it, the Master System was the Sega's answer to the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. It's more powerful than the NES. It displays more colours, and it has some really surprising titles in there. Just to sort of let you in about why I like the Master System, and I just realised as I was doing this, for the podcast you won't know what I'm pointing at, but I just realised the biggest mistake I've just made before going on this show. I put Mario in the background, which is, if you watch Sega Head, that's like putting the devil.
Throw a dart at him, it'll be fine.
I forgot to change that. I said I was going to do that before I came on the show. But yeah, I have to admit, I was a Nintendo guy growing up. And my sister wanted her own console because her brother was getting, playing all these games. And she had a choice between a Sega Mega Drive or a Sega Master System. And of course, being a teenager, I wanted her to get a Mega Drive. But being my young sister, she wanted to spite me, so she got the Sega Master System. However, I'm glad she did, because there was a huge amount of games that I never would have played if she wouldn't have had that system. And there's different tweaks on games. It's not just a downgraded crap version of something that was on the Mega Drive, although that does happen from time to time. There's also completely different experiences, like the Sonic games on Master System are bloody good, and they're completely different to the ones on the Mega Drive and things like that. I prefer the Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion games on the Master System. I think they're better platformers than the one on the Mega Drive. So, but we're not here about me. We're here for Mr. Segahead. What is your stories of the Master System? Where did you get, the Master System label? What made you want to talk about the Master System? Tell me some stories about that and how you discovered the system.
I got given console when I was 5 years old, and I remember I was obviously too young to be any good at anything. I had Ghouls and Ghosts, I mentioned before. I got to the first boss, that was it. I couldn't kill him. Don't know why. I probably didn't realise I'm going to shoot the head.
I don't think I've ever even seen the first boss. That game is so unfair.
Need to utilise the shop thing. That's how to beat the game.
I'm going to look that up after this.
I don't know, I think that cemented me loving platformers. Favourite genre for games is RPGs and stuff, but I'm no good at them. One, they go on forever, and I haven't got that kind of fucking time. Platformers, they tend to be much smaller games, and they require a lot more skill, I reckon. In terms of thinking, RPGs, maybe strategy-wise, you've got to think more. Platformer, no. It's just a case of jumping around like an idiot, but...
Yeah, I think with RPGs, if you grind in an area long enough, like Phantasy Star on the Master System is considered to be very hard. However, if you spend 2 to 3 hours running up and down, leveling up, you'll eventually get strong enough to defeat the boss. However, your game Donald Duck, if you can't get past the first level, you're never going to see any of the rest of the game. And that game is notorious for having limited continues and starting you right from the bloody beginning.
Yes, fucking thing.
So, yeah.
Still can't believe that's one of the rarest games on the system. It comes with a special box that had a T-shirt in it, maybe something else. That's one of the rarest things to find.
Have you got a copy
of that? Well, I've got a copy of the game. I don't have a copy of the special box version. I think it's £500-ish on eBay.
I'm
the
going
last
to
one
my
I saw.
sister after this.
Do you know what the rarest game on the system is at all?
I thought it was Street Fighter, from based on what you said before. Is it not that? Oh, okay. What is it?
Sonic.
What, the first? Oh, because it was pack-in title. Did they not? Oh, really? Why is that then?
It's the dumbest thing in the world. Right, essentially, Sonic in America, the American one is the hardest to find, but alright, it's the same cartridge. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Booklet, it might be a case that the spine's on the other side, as they tend to do, but otherwise, same shit, and it probably is the same booklet because it was the Master System. They just thought, fuck it, thing that makes it worth well over £1,000 is a sticker on the side that's a barcode. It's a barcode we don't use in other parts of the world because it's an American barcode, you know, different numbers, combinations, and that. That's it.
That's it? Just the barcode sticker?
If it has that sticker, it's considered rare because it was the last game to come out in America for the system. It didn't make many because the console was a massive fail over there, which is funny how well it did everywhere else, but yeah, that fucking barcode makes it worth, instead of, I don't know, what's Sonic on the Master System on eBay now? It's 20 for the kit, maybe, at max.
At push.
If it's got the barcode, well over 1,000, maybe even closer to 3,000.
Wow, I had no idea.
Retarded, isn't it?
Just a bloody sticker. Jeez, I of course it had to be an American game because, again, for people who don't know, the Master System did not do very well in America at all. In the rest of Europe, though, it was actually really popular. I know pretty much everybody in my area, in my community, also had a Master System, and it was very affordable, I think, is the answer to that. Where NES and Super NES and Mega Drive was actually quite an expensive system to buy, the Master System was always quite affordable.
Especially because of the second model, Master System 2, that was always so affordable. I think max price might have been like just 100 quid. With that, you get Alex Kid built in. Later on, you could have Sonic built in instead.
Yeah.
Right, it was damn affordable.
Yeah, it was a good stuff. And I think we talked about the hardware and its availability and the stuff for us, but what if you were speaking to the general populace? What, in your opinion, makes it a great console?
Ooh.
We've only got a little while, so.
Right. There's a lot of games that go under the radar. You know, a lot of people argue about how Aladdin's better on Mega Drive, Aladdin's better on Super Nintendo, and as you pointed out, sometimes with Master System you get a crap down version of a Mega Drive game. Not always, but there are some. Aladdin's its own thing. An 8-bit game, as you're watching yourself, like in some of the running levels, you're like, how has it done that animation? How is it this colourful? How is it that this is the system that went up against the NES and lost? We all know the reasons why for that, but if you're just discovering the system, you might think, how the fuck? And then you'll want to learn more, and then you will learn more. Through games like Aladdin, or let's see, another one that's stupidly graphical, Miracle Warriors. I have no idea how the world hasn't got more of that. Came out on the Famicom as well, so they obviously, you know, in Japan thought, we're too stupid over here, we don't get one. There's just so many games that seem to slip through the net, as it were.
Yeah, Taz, when my sister got Taz, I always thought that was quite blown away because it pretty much looked like the cartoon with the way that Taz was animated.
Yes, and it's so much better than the Mega Drive one as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Aladdin as well because I got my missus' two favourite games on the Mega Drive as Aladdin and Lion King, and I made her play the Master System versions live on stream. Aladdin was a very good experience for her, and she was quite surprised that it follows the movie a lot closer than any of the SNES or the Mega Drive variants. And it's got quite, and I mean, he even changes outfit. I mean, the Master System's just flexing at this point, where they actually have a character sprite change, and it's actually changing the outfit because he goes to, you know, Prince Ali things. But anyway, that's Disney stuff.
No, I forgot about that. That's a good point, actually. But the Lion King one, though, that it's a different game. I wouldn't say it's better. It's just like we've tried something else.
Well, she's got to the Stampede bit, where
Stampede. Shit in every format.
Where the Mega Drive one has got that, you know, she knows a trick to get by it, but they have if you don't know, the wildebeests are running towards you. But in the Master System one, they have these GIFs, or GIFs if you prefer, that go across the bottom of the screen. They don't move, but it's trying to do stuff, but yeah. So good stuff.
Good game, but meh.
Yeah, great stuff. So, the other thing is where a lot of I make this mistake as well from time to time, but in your words, rather than me hijack the whole thing. What is the biggest difference for people who don't know? Because I think Sega pushes the Game Gear way more than they do the Master System. For people who don't know, for our audience who listen, and these people like Mike over here, who's chewing on his finger and doesn't even know what a Master System is, bless him. What is the biggest difference between the Game Gear and the Master System? And they have a lot of similarities, yes, but why would you choose the Master System over the Game Gear?
Master System, for one thing, you can look at the games on the screen that isn't crap. I know the Game Gear's colour, whereas the Game Boy wasn't, but it's still a crap screen. It is.
Yeah.
People say about portability gives a lot of things, so yeah, all right, Game Gear's got that. All the games are massively cropped. Yeah, Sonic on Master System and Sonic on Game Gear, the sprites are different. You've got the same, well, very, very similar level layouts, but the Game Gear one's cropped like mad. You could be running along, you've run into something, got hit, lost all your rings. Master System one, you run along, you've seen the son of a bitch, you've jumped because you knew he was coming. It's not that badly cropped. That's the biggest thing about Game Gear games is it's all sort of stretched and looks a bit shitty. Some games are fine, like Dragon Crystal. I fucking love that game on the Master System. It's how do they describe it? As a roguelike? That's the name of the genre.
Oh,
what
yeah.
Shit name for a genre.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's cropped on the Game Gear, but it's not something where if something comes on the screen, you've seen it too late and you're doomed. That kind of game's great on both systems, but unless you're someone that likes to take your games on the go, Master System's for the win.
Yeah, there's a lot of leaps of faith I find on the Game Gear. There's games I play absolutely fine on the Master System, and then when if you play a lot of platformers and you have to make that jump, you're like, hang on a minute, I can see the floor on the Master System version. Why am I jumping into nothing? Yeah. Where is this going?
There's only 2 Game Gear games I wish were on the Master System, and I'm gutted they're not. One is Tails Adventure.
Which one?
Gutted they never got that. Tails Adventure.
Yes, okay.
And there's a Shining Force game.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Game Gear Shinobis.
Fucking hate Shinobi.
Because I think the 2 Game Gear games that I was really surprised about that I actually got really into were the Game Gear Shinobi games, because they play more like a Metroidvania type of thing. And I was like, why is this not on the Master System? This looks like prime Master System game quality, but no. But there we go. But
then recommend me to get Shinobi on Game Gear. Maybe I'll like a Shinobi for a change.
Have you not played the Game Gear Shinobi ones? No, okay. They're how do I do? They're a bit like a Metroidvania Mega Man type style game where you get different coloured Shinobis with different abilities, and you have to. So you play as your traditional Shinobi guy. You can play any level in any order. Then you rescue a coloured Shinobi, and then you get him on your team, and he's got like a different ability where he can climb on walls or he uses a whip. And then you go to other levels, and that gives you an advantage to be able to get the next Shinobi. And it's really clever, really good, and there's 2 of them. I highly recommend them.
Doesn't sound much like the other Shinobi games, so I'm intrigued. If the game doesn't break the bank, that's another thing I need to buy.
I can imagine, yeah, they would be quite expensive. I apologise for adding to your already growing list of video games.
Maybe I'll get lucky. The 3DS hasn't stopped the store yet. I might be able to get it on there.
Nah, maybe. I haven't seen it on there, to be honest. But yes, if you do, highly give them a go. And you, Mike, I know you've got a list I give you every week about what to play. But yeah, you get on there as well.
So for someone who was born when Sega were being visited by the Grim Reaper, and
put him straight, Mike. Jeez.
Pull any punches, huh?
What? Because I genuinely didn't know growing up. I didn't even know that the Master System or the Saturn were consoles. I honestly thought it was like I didn't even know it was called the Mega Drive because of YouTube and stuff. I thought it was the Genesis, and then it was the Dreamcast, and that was it. So I was completely uneducated. So as someone who knows fuck all about the Master System, what would you say are like the must play games? The ones that you can't miss in your sort of gaming library.
Ooh, Well, it would depend on the genre you're after. I mean, RPGs, there's not a shit ton, but Miracle Warriors, the first Phantasy Star, you got to play the first Phantasy Star. That game's awesome. Ease is a great game. But to this day, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it fucking right, and might not be for everyone. Platformers, Sonic on the Master System is awesome. Ghouls and Ghosts is its own thing, although he fucking hates it. I still say Taz is better than the Mega Drive one. The Mega Drive one, the jumping is slow, the music is dog shit. I did a big video about I can't understand why people think it's so amazing when it's pants. The 8-bit one is better. It's got the same damn artwork, funnily enough, but it's a very different game. What else? Master System. Alex Kidd is just interesting to see what they had before Sonic, because I know a lot of young people think Sega, Sonic, yeah, but it used to be Sega, little monkey boy Vulcan fucker that punches things, dies easy, and is a little prick. Wonder why we went to a blue hedgehog.
Although I always say about Alex Kidd though, and I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm sorry. We'll bring it back in. But I do think if they did keep Alex the Kid relevant and didn't just drop him like a sack of shit, it may have made the transition into 3D a little easier. Because I can imagine there's a lot more you would do with Alex the Kid in a 3D game than you could potentially do with Sonic in a 3D game.
Maybe, to be fair. I mean, I'm not a big fan of most 3D Sonic games. I get them all, I play them all. That doesn't mean they're good. Many of them that are just kind of crap.
Yeah, but Alex the Kid, I mean, he flies a helicopter, he drives a boat, he drives a bike. It just... Yeah,
I like it when people say, it's a Mario clone. Like, yeah, because Mario did all that shit.
It's not. But I think he would have done quite well in 3D. I think another one that you've talked about quite a lot is Wonderboy, isn't it? That doesn't get enough love.
Yeah, if people grew up with Nintendo, Wonderboy essentially was just called Adventure Island. It's just a name swap, some sprite swaps, but it's the same fucking gameplay. Nintendo kept the same thing. Adventure Island 2 is the same sort of gameplay. Adventure Island 3 is the same gameplay. And on, they just kept doing the same thing. Wonderboy, yeah, it started the same, obviously. And then the next game, like, right, fuck that, RPG. And the third game come along, and this way, the third one is so awesome, they've remade it on the Switch from the ground up with awesome colours and graphics. If you want to play a Master System game on your Switch that's and fun for everyone, and you can swap the graphics. So instead of looking at the really cool colours with all the detailed backgrounds, you can go click of a button. That's what it look like a Master System. It's not a pyramid in the background, it's yellow. It gives you a good idea of what it was like, you know.
That's it. I found that game so incredibly hard on the Master System, but the remake they made, because they didn't really change much. I think it's just I just come back to it. But that's made me go back and buy all the Wonderboy games because that game is so good. Dragon's Trap
is a little bit easier.
Yeah. Is it Dragon's Trap? Is that the third one? Yeah.
Wonderboy 3, Dragon's Trap. So that's my one I'm adding to your list. Ha! I'm throwing at one you got to play now.
Yeah, that's a good one though, Mike. You'll really like that.
Oh yeah, it's very well polished. The old one, it had good reaction, like when you go to jump and that. But with the Switch version, the remake. Say Switch, you can play it on fucking PS4 as well, but jumping's quicker, everything's smoother, you can save. On the Master System one, you got a password that was essentially a fucking paragraph. So, like, nowadays, if a password comes on the screen, get my phone, click there, I can type that in later. Back in the day, you had to write that shit down. If you got one fucking letter wrong, like you wrote an O instead of a 0, that's buggered that.
All your progress is gone. Starting from your past.
Outside, stab a puppy, you know. Just
that kind of stuff. Kick a cat.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a couple others that I don't. Again, don't hold me to this because you've got a lot of content, so you may have covered these, and I will go and check them if I've missed them. But ones I did like on the Master System was also Action Fighter.
I've only covered it very quickly, so you're all right.
Okay, and I actually liked Cosmic Spacehead on the Master System. I wasn't a fan of that on the Mega Drive so much.
It only got that one. It was a little while ago, I suppose, and I couldn't quite understand the mechanic. It's a platformer. Now it's a point and click.
Yeah.
I couldn't wrap my head around it. If you grew up with it, maybe you'll understand it. Me, no.
Well, this is it. But you know, when you go to your local game store and your sister's in charge of the Master System because her console, and I go, get Streets of Rage or get Double Dragon or get something like that, and she goes, no, I like this one. I'm like, no, don't, because we can only afford one game a year, and that was the game I had, so I had to get used to it. Once you got used to the mechanics, it's actually really, really good, but it took a year to get there.
Give myself a year to master this game.
No.
Talk about Double Dragon, though. I do feel that's the one of the best versions of the original Double Dragons on the Master System. I really enjoy that one.
I actually spin off there because I grew up with Double Dragon 2 on Game Boy. I'm the only person I know who has done, and the only person I know, therefore, that can complete it. Really good fun. When I got to play the Master System one, everyone said the best thing about it is two-player. I'm like, I need a friend. It's instantly shit to me then, so...
I had my sister, she just wasted my lives. That was about it, really. So I didn't get my
family.
Yeah, great.
Blame my family for wasting my life, to be honest.
It's a gaming thing.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Do you like video games? Do you like kick-ass characters? Do you like action and adventure? Then you should go to RagingDestiny.com and get your copy of Raging Destiny, an action-packed fantasy fiction today. A novel written by a gamer for a gamer. That's right, written by me, Bill, from Pop Culture Pause Screen. It's a non-stop thrill ride with in-depth characters that very well could be your next favourite franchise. There isn't any slowing down in this book, oh no. Every chapter is designed to keep you reading and wanting to know what happens next. You can find out more at RagingDestiny.com, and I thank you in advance for your support. Now, back to the show.
The gaming
it's kids, bastards.
So, there's, like, for example, Alex the Kid is a good example, because there's just as many crap Alex Kidd games. So, when we say Alex Kidd, and Sega, please, just, don't do this anymore. We're not talking about Enchanted Castle on the Mega Drive. That's not the Alex Kidd we're referring to. Alex the Kid did a lot better. And there's also a few Alex Kidds on the Master System that are not the worth the time of day. I liked Alex the Kid in Shinobi World, but Alex the Kid in Miracle World is the one to go for. I don't know if you echoed those thoughts at all.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of the Shinobi games, but I can't deny it's a well-polished game. It's good fun. I suck at it, but that doesn't mean anything. It is the better game. You've got Miracle World is the best one, then Shinobi, and then the other two on the system are just crap. There is one more that we never got. There's that Alex Kidd. Is it BMX?
Yeah, I played that on emulation just to try it. And
keep meaning to. It's on that damn EverDrive that a viewer gave me, so I don't have an excuse anymore than the fact that I suck. So
that would be a good video. I'd actually, that would be a good video to watch as you get peed off over that one.
Good. So it sounds like a fun game. Can't wait.
Yeah, but what my point was is that I think when people generally pick up a Master System, they're going to get things like Sonic, hopefully. But there's sometimes when you find it in these retro places or cafes or something, they tend to have some crap with it. What games should people avoid on the Master System at all costs?
Oh, Flintstones. Let's just say that one straight away. So, no one knows Flintstones. Let's just give you the Clip Notes version. There are only 4 levels. How can you go wrong with 4 levels? Well, it's very simple. Let's think of the most famous games out there, the biggest ones. You got to save the princess. And yeah, you got to do something grand. Save the princess. Destroy the Demon King. Venture out into the world and collect all the treasure. What do you do in level 1 of the Flintstones? You paint a wall. You don't paint the wall because your fucking stupid daughter keeps scribbling on it. Not only that, the controls are bollocks. There's a ladder, right? In order to paint the top half of the motherfucking wall. The amount of people I've seen screaming at the ladder, why won't you fucking move? There's a knack to it. It's no good saying what button to press because it doesn't always fucking work. But the bigger question is, why would you obsess over level 1? Well, don't worry, because level 2 will make you hate it more. Very simple. Drive to the bowling alley. That's a piece of piss. No, it's not. Every single fucking thing you touch will make a damn tyre fall off of your car. And if you manage to get to the end, if you're too slow, you've lost. It was closed. But you've got a timer at the bottom. The timer didn't run out. How is it that the place shut? There's 2 timers. There's the one you see, and then there's a fucking magic one. That's that. And if you manage to get there, you think there you are, shit levels out the way. Level 3. Never win at bowling against Barney. That's the level. You won't win. I don't care who you are. If you say you've done it, fuck yourself. You're lying. Can't be done. Level 4, that's a surprise I'll leave for someone else to show you. But that's just that game that sucks ass. There are others.
And their mention is this is the game that you absolutely hate. So this is the kind of scar that can happen if you give a game like Flintstones to a young child and he's still talking about it now. And even when we didn't even try to prompt him, even if we didn't bring it up, it still bubbles to the surface.
You said crap game. I had to go there. I learned all of my swear words from my dad playing that game. Especially like whenever he managed to get to level 2 with the car. Turns out you can actually jump over some of the rocks, but the timing has to be perfect. My old man, I swear, I don't remember him once jumping. Because he's in a car, he must have not thought to do that. So he just drove into every fucking rock. Every little obstacle, breaking the car, and he'd be there going, shit, fucking cunt, put a fucking wheel on. Put a fucking wheel on. I fucking hate you. Put a fucking wheel on. That was my experience with that, as I'm sitting there watching him going, are we having fun yet, Daddy?
Let me guess, it was his idea to buy that game?
Came in a pack, I think. And then it'd be like, you know, back in the day, it was Ghostbusters was the big thing. So
I never understood how to play that bloody thing.
Oh, you'd be like, fuck Flintstones, can't be done. Let's put on Ghostbusters. Yeah, Ghostbusters would be good. What am I doing? What am I doing? Couldn't figure out as a kid. We would stare at it, and every so often we'd be like, right, today's the day. I'm going to learn what I'm doing. Never was. That day hasn't come yet. I'm 34. I still don't know what I'm doing.
It's like you're just moving a symbol around a map, and then sometimes you can go to a building, even though they're not, you know, the flashing buildings happen, but apparently that's not the one you can go to. And then you've got the... oh, God, it's a mess.
Funny thing is, I've got that on Atari 2600. That game is fun and quite surprisingly detailed for that console. I mean, it's the console where one of its most famous games is you're a knight, but you're not. You're a fucking square, mate. It gives you a good example of the graphics. Yet, Ghostbusters on Atari is really good. So why does the Master System one suck?
Probably because it was... I don't know which one came first, but either or. I had the ZX Spectrum one. And that was the same as the Master System one, just worse graphics. So,
great, winning at life.
Yeah, great stuff. I personally hate Teddy Boy.
Really? Why is that?
I just hate it. Every level looks the same. You're just running around with a gun shooting bugs. And my sister could have got Streets of Rage for the Master System instead of Teddy Boy, so I suppose there's that resentment as well.
Keep hearing that resentment from you today about Streets of Rage. Have you got it yet? Have you played it?
No. I hear it was one player in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is fuck up. Like I hear a lot of people going, "Oh, the game's crap because of this." It's like, "Oh, is it?" Well, by that logic, Double Dragon on the NES must also be crap just because of that. No, don't need any other reason to explain why the game's good. It's just, oh, it's one player. That's shit then.
Yeah,
has to be.
So I suppose we should approach the elephant in the room with the Master System and finally answer this once and for all, which I'm sure you do this all the time, but I haven't had to address this yet. And I've been waiting for you to come onto the show to address this for the listeners. Yeah. What is the deal with the pause button being on the console?
Oh, it's very simple.
What's your views on this?
It's obvious. If you look at it this way, gamers today want challenge. They want to be better gamers. That's why they get your Dark Souls, your Elden Ring, and any of that crap. Have the pause button on the controllers for pussies. You know, people like, what, you want to be sitting down when you pause it? And wuss. Get up. Walk to the end there. Press the button. It's more satisfying. Unless you need to do it really quick and before you die, no, you fucked it. That's why it's there. It's for, you know, hard mode.
Well, here's another one for you. The people who had a Master System, like me and Mr. Sega Head here, we didn't have a bloody great big house or a massive room. The pause button was pretty much there when we were playing games. So what's the difference of having it on your controller or just moving 2 inches forward and pressing it? Because we were like there in front of the screen. So it's not a big deal, is it? So your fancy pants houses and your big rooms, we had a Master System. We were basically, if we breathed too heavy, we steamed up the screen because we were so close to it and our screens were so, our rooms are so small. So yeah, forget about it. It wasn't that big a deal. So there we go.
Remember back in the day when they said if you sit too close to the TV screen, your eyes will go square?
Yeah. And then Sony released a headset.
Exactly, you had the games plastered to your face now. It's like, I guess we forgot that one.
Yeah, that's right. No one told them. So great stuff. Mike, have you got any other questions for Mr. Segahead? Mine, I promised I'd get him out by 7:30.
Yeah,
so...
yeah, no, you're fine. I just wanted to ask quickly, just what sort of, obviously you've said what you're sort of working on next, but is it, in terms of sort of your plans next in the long term, is it just sort of see how it goes, you know? Is it, if it grows, great; if it doesn't, then to hell with it? Or is it, you know, what you sort of got in mind?
Well, anyone that does YouTube, they'll relate to this, and anyone that doesn't, I suppose they'll learn about it. If you really go hard into YouTube, you can't help but get a bit obsessed with numbers. And recently, I had gotten a bit too obsessed, so I thought about it too much, and I was doing videos, not so much for other people, but it felt like I was doing this shit for all the wrong reasons. So now I'm doing the videos I want to do. Yeah. It's more fun because of it. Like, I've just done 4 Let's Plays because I thought, fuck it. The Story's Untold game. I thought, that's a weird, freaky game. I want to do it. The views are down. But I don't give a shit. Because otherwise I would have been talking about something I feel like I've talked about before. Like, was it the Slice of Retro videos? No, they were quite popular and they were quite fun to do, but I wanted to have a little break from it. So I wanted to try this podcast shit. My podcast is shit. I'm not saying this one is.
You can say that.
Wonderful. It's, yeah. That's to throw me right. I wanted to try a new thing. And because I thought I don't know how much effort it's going to take to put into it, I'm going to put a pause on it. So it's, when it comes to YouTube, it's really hard to not obsess. The hard thing. And right now, I feel like I've just gotten over obsessing too much. Now I'm just trying to think of videos that are fun.
You just assume that if you've done a good video, it's going to get more views. So when you go, oh, this video's a killer. This video's, it's going to do it. And then you realise it's got the same views you'd normally get. And you think, or even less in some cases. And it's just like a kick in the nuts.
Well, yeah, the effort you put into a video does not reflect the views you get. Collab I did that took 6 months. It was just happy if I got over 200 views because I was realistic. It's done much better than that, but still, it had that mindset. I was prepared because I've also done a video where one day I was out in the town and there was this new controller out. I thought, that looks fun. You know what? Fuck it. It's cheap. I'll get it. On the way home, I thought maybe I'll do a video about it. Did a video. Lighting is a bit F because I forgot to adjust it properly on the camera. Fucked up. Research the controller because it only just come out. There's not a lot I could find out. Fucked up. Put the video out. 12,000 views. Well, that's fair.
And all you did was press record.
Yes. Sometimes the lesson is don't make too much effort and think you're going to do fantastic because it doesn't fucking work like that. Some people can strike gold just by turning around and spitting. But people like me, it's like the harder you try, the more you think, why did I?
I think I don't know if this is, something that you might have heard of before, but a newcomer coming to a channel with a lot of videos like yourself, I'd like a recap video. Just like a video where you go, look, okay, it's been a while now. Here are some videos you should go bloody watch. And you just do a video like that. I'd love that for your channel because you've got so much content. Trying to catch up on that many years worth of content is really difficult. But I feel I've missed so much. So
before that wouldn't be a bad idea. Just say 5 videos I had fun doing, or I think were a laugh. Yeah, just try and make them a bit obscure or something.
Yeah, because then people go back and find the videos you've already done. You're recycling content in a way, but at the same time, newcomers to your channel or me. I mean, I've been subscribed, like you say, for about 8 months, but I don't know where to start on your older content or what stuff to look at. So I just start right at the beginning and watch, 4 or 5 years worth of videos, or is there something that you could sort of make that basically goes, watch this, here's a link, go watch that, come back?
Here's a free one then. Have you seen my Mercs video like we mentioned earlier?
No, I haven't, no.
It's an older one. Yeah, watch that one. That one's just it's just stupid. That's what I'm trying to focus on in the next Sega Head episode. I just want to get that sort of level of dumb. Fuck your reasoning, fuck your structure, fuck it being, today we're talking about this. I don't want it to be that kind of shit. I'd rather you turn it on and just think, fuck's going on here? And then just giggle.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
That's what I'm aiming for. So check out the Mercs one, but I do like your idea of a recap. I should look into that.
Like I said, that's something I was planning on doing when I get a few more videos under my belt. But for your channel, I think especially it would be really good just to sort of have that.
Don't even know how many videos I've got out. I think I've recently hit 500, and that's fucking scary.
What this is, I'll tell you. While I do that, did you want to tell our listeners and the people watching and listening to the show where they can find you on socials or anything like that?
Oh, funnily enough, it was like I mentioned earlier, but in case you didn't catch it, if you type Sega Head as one word in just about anywhere in Google, you can find pretty much all the stuff I work on. I don't know why it's one word. I never put it as that, but the world decides that's how I am. Sega rather than Sega Head. So, okay, if you type Sega space head, you will come up with adverts on the head of Sega and a band with the same name whose music is poo. There you go. I was honest. Fuck it.
Great stuff. Thank you so much for taking some time to join us on the show. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
That's great. I love your stuff, like I said, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming up. Go check out Sega Head on YouTube. Top quality content and really funny all the time. So thank you so much for being a part of this today. But for now, it's that time again, Mike.
It is.
It is that time again. Where we're going to go play some bloody games and stop talking shit on this occasion. So yeah, thank you for listening to Pop Culture Podcast. This has been me, Bill, and my compadre, Mike.
Yep.
Say goodbye, Mike.
Goodbye.
Mike.
Goodbye.
Mike.
Mike.
And goodbye from Sega Head.
It's goodbye from Sega Head.
There you go. He got it. You're here every week and he got it first time. Jeez.
Never said this was a quality podcast, did we? So we advertised.
We're going to play some bloody games. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Pop Culture Pausecast. Check the channel for other episodes, new podcast every Wednesday. Or, if you're one of the cool ones, you can watch some of my other videos right here on Pop Culture Pause Screen, or maybe catch me live on Twitch every Monday from 7 PM UK time. And show some love to my partner in crime, Mike, over at his YouTube channel, Mike Ritiques. Link in the description. He does some great game reviews, he really does. And if you want some action, adventure, and kick-ass characters in your life, then go over to RagingDestiny.com and get a copy of my book, Raging Destiny, a novel for gamers written by me, a gamer. You won't regret it, and I appreciate your support. That's RagingDestiny.com. You should have links to all of this in the description below, or on screen now for you to click. But for now, it's time to stop talking and go play some bloody video games. Catch you next time.